make it to this point, surprising all of us in the round of 64, and now we get to see the fruits of their labor come through onto the decider. Sully, what are your thoughts, predictions, and do you think the momentum is going to be enough for KDA to actually make this a massive dubski?
At this point in time, it's like, I don't even know what's going to happen. LG lost a map that, again, I'm going to keep reiterating this fact, 81% over the last 21 maps they played on that agent composition. That's their record, 81%. They've won 81% of matches with that agent comp out of 21 games. That is some absurd number. And overall, they were 21-9. So just think about that. Mathematically, that was a guaranteed win for LG in my books, especially when they've taken out teams like Anbox, Xset, 100 Thieves, and Tenacity just these past couple of weeks. It's insane to think that KDA even brought a level of game to them, and the fact that it wasn't even close is what blows my mind even more. Ascent is a truly different story. I believe they've lost this 4-14 is their current record, 2-13 against 100 Thieves. So this in no way, shape, or form is going to look good for the likes of Luminosity. However, we're in the server now. We're ready, raring to go. Let's get this map underway. The final map of this game. I'm excited, Kieran. Take us away.
Well, judging immediately what KDA are trying on their defensive end, they have the wrong idea. LG are towards the B-bomb site, and yet they've stacked all their players over towards A. It's just an unfortunate read. That means that LG are going to be able to get away, whisk away with the site heading into this first pistol. But that doesn't mean that it's going to be all well and free. Still, Thief is going to try and make this more LG favored as it began. However, that doesn't mean that it's going to end that way. KDA are fighting back. It's already a 3 versus 3, and that spike is freshly just on in. So LG, they'll begin with their post plant, with just kind of holding down solid acres on the site. They don't actually want to push out. They can still possibly help it. Really, you want to go ahead and have a lot of emphasis on how KZ is going to hold this one down, since he's waiting at Boathouse. That first kill doesn't go his way until he gets a second chance with a burst, but 3 bullets means that time is of the essence. He's no way going to be able to pull this off, but he does! How can he just keep on doing this? KT has been surprising me in so many ways, but I didn't think a 1-on-3 was something I would have bet my house on him.
It's such an awkward position as well. He's sitting in the background at Boathouse. He had 3 bullets in his magazine. He is so lucky he gets that second frag, because if he doesn't have that dash. And the fact that the Killjoy as well doesn't have any ammunition in his classic, has to go for a different gun. Everything lined up there for the likes of LG. I have no idea how that clutch was pulled off, but by God, it was worth the wait. KDA, so sloppy towards the tail end, and LG, they've got the first round by some miracle of God. And on the attacking side, you need all the help you can get. They kick it off with the first round, and they need to continue to build upon this momentum. KDA started off with no rounds won, but hopefully there can be some resurgence, as LG have got the bye, but KDA are looking to bite back with one of their own.
Exactly what I was going to say. Keep in mind, there's actually a real good chance that KDA could strike back, make this into something. Yes, they lost it, but it was by such a thin margin. They did so much damage, got the spike down, and there it is. That's kind of the beginning that LG really wanted, but that doesn't mean that KDA can't fight back. This is a round where they're going to take fights. They're going to get a little bit scrimmy. Unfortunately, it just doesn't seem to be working out in their favor. They needed an opening frag of some sort. The trades are not going to be good enough to actually win out a round. And because of that reason, and that reason alone, LG should be able to take number 2 here, but it's with bated breath that I say it's going to be all finished up. Luckily, aproto will clean us up, and we'll only have 1 fatality found on the Luminosity gaming side. But I'm still kind of calming down from that high that the pistol round brought me. Things are looking a little bit more stable, and KDA have been grounded to reality. They realized that it wasn't just a fluke what LG pulled out on that pistol round. The second round looked so good for LG, and heading into number 3, KDA are going to have nothing more than a couple of upgraded pistols, some half armor on Bull and RESHURA, and a lot of hope that they can make this upset happen.
Oh, walking quietly. Runner, KZ gets the first. Runner, though, wants a little bit more. Maybe bit off a little bit more than he can chew. But Bull, the horns are steady, but the horns have been shaved off by KZ. Nothing more that they can do there, unfortunately, with just pistols. Bull was hoping to get something miraculous with just the Sheriff. Moechilla is no longer chilling, as he is the last man alive. 1 versus 4. Sheriff in his hand, a dream in his head, and he's made 1 possible. But there is still 3 to find in mid-reload. out in the open. Mada shuts him down, and KDA concede round number 3. It was just a pistol, not too bad from KDA, but regardless, LG will be happy with the result with only losing 1.
And this is where things get spicy though, Soli. KDA, and they bring up the rifles again. I'm pretty sure LG are going to go ahead and stick with this pretty standard artillery set that they have currently going for them. There's one Vandal and otherwise a sea of Phantoms, and I guess there's even a Bulldog kind of out buoying its way into the scoreboard. Interesting to see that that won't be upgraded, but have high hopes, I suppose you can say. Now, on paper, I would have to give a slight edge over to KDA, considering what they showed me on Haven, and LG statistically and historically have not been exactly brilliant on this. But it will be actually the knives that start us off here. It won't be any of the Phantoms, it won't be that Vandal, nor the Bulldog, but a Blade Storm. That's possibly going to find themselves that first kill, kind of baiting out that ace setup. RESHURA waits and whine, but he needs a little bit of help. This is not an area that he can go completely solo in. You need a little bit of help and a little bit more juice to actually go ahead and get you going, but he doesn't need your help. RESHURA will do it all by himself, and no way he's actually going to find a third. Perhaps a little bit too confident. Icarus, maybe flying a bit too close to the sun, eventually will burn up. That sonar arrow will go ahead and do him a little bit of good to find some information, but still the attacking side favors the A-bomb site. Aproto coming up over towards Catwalk will try to provide a little bit of a backstab. But KDA, surely they got to be aware of this possibility. jcrueL, of course he is. This man is wise and his brain is so incredibly wrinkly. Of course he's aware of it. LG,
30 seconds
now
left.
2 men down. Probably, I mean, do they look to save at this point?
They kind of have to. LG, there's not much you can do. 20 seconds left to 4v2. That is so well played by the side of KDA. The swing goes in. I mean, it truly does not get better than that. If you were to ask me, the Hunter's Fury draws everybody's attention away. Nobody is focused on Wine. Nobody is looking at the position where they should be looking. And they were looking there from the get-go. They were all focused, and it draws. The Hunter's Fury causes a big enough a distraction to allow the swing, and 2 kills were found. Perfect stuff from KDA on that A main position. And LG, they'll pay dearly for it. They have wasted that one Hunter's Fury, though. So maybe down the line, it comes back to bite them. But for now, KDA are in a stable position. Economy is looking fine, and LG are looking a little bit dull now looking at the guns they've got.
Thing is, though, there's 2 guns that can be dropped over. KZ and Stellar, that is some artillery. That is an army that can be well funded. And LG will go ahead and pull all the threads together to make this another confident buy. There is an Empress of Darkness still awaiting on the LG side. Actually, for both sides, excuse me. And I'm wondering if we see maybe an early extension for an ultimate orb here. Taking a gander over towards A, it seems that the aggression will actually come from Catwalk, where we watch RESHURA, who's now sitting in the corner of this box, probably waiting to make first contact. Oh, Thief. Doesn't seem to actually find it. This could actually be really good for RESHURA. Oh, so dangerously close to being spotted. Both of these players, that drone is going to do them so good. Information found, but kill not converted. RESHURA, no way you're going to be able to get out of this one unscathed. Hell, you're actually going to go down even better.
I have the spike.
jcrueL even finds another kill, and KDA are making it happen. That doesn't mean that it's over, though. Sure, it's a 3v5, and that is really not a good look for LG, but they have come back from worse, and they have made harder rounds happen. But as we enter the mid-round lull, Sully, we kind of have an all quiet on the Western Front sort of situation, don't we?
Does seem like it. LG have been stopped in their tracks. That should have been their kill. RESHURA should not have been allowed anything there. They knew where he was. KZ misses his opportunity, misses the golden chance to give LG the round, and KDA now
30 seconds
they've locked
left.
down this B bomb site. Look at all the utility. Nano storm grenades go off. No kills found just yet for KDA on the attempted take. RESHURA finally biting the dust. Bullets ring out. 20 seconds left. Shock darts it in, and Runner is looking to hold this one by himself as his teammate goes down. He takes 2 with him, and 13 seconds left. There isn't enough time here for him to dance around. He finally gets the kill that needed to be collected upon, but look at the gap that has already been closed by KDA. You're up against 2 of the best. jcrueL has been phenomenal, but he needs to be better, Thief, and he won't land any of the 8 bullets. KDA find their second round, and offensive half is looking a little bit brighter for them. LG will not have the 4th, and instead KDA look bright, but it did get dicey towards the end, Kieran, and that's something that they've got to be wary of.
That is so massive, because now look at what this means for the economy of LG. It's going to be absolutely terrible. Actually, never mind. It's better than I thought. Wow. Okay, well, kind of there goes my point. Just go ahead and throw that one out of the window. Maybe if KDA win this round, it'll be absolutely terrible, but no, it's actually all fine. Wow, I take that completely. LG still have a horse in this race then. Oh my god, that was like the biggest thing that I was worried about. I think I had a little bit of a misread on that economy, but still KDA, at least they have the momentum going for them. Not quite the economical advantage that I was guessing it'd be. Things still remain a little bit thin and a little bit scary for Luminosity Gaming, however. Already, the fact that it's gotten to this point is more than mildly concerning. Again, these are the gatekeepers of Tier 2, I like to say, in a lot of fashions, in a lot of ways. And really, in a lot of ways, also, LG can kind of knock on the door of some of the better teams in North America. But they're struggling against KDA, a team which some have just called Puggers. I'm not sure if that's actually true. This is a core that I believe has been around for a while. And we'll have to see how this core pays off, and how they actually deal with this newfound situation that has been found. Stellar, with such a brilliant teleport in over towards Boathouse, manages to catch Runner off guard, and only find that. Bull fights back. Of course, the Bull, when it goes crazy, is a murderous beast. Unfortunately, the Bull will be put down, and we see ourselves in a 1-on-2 that LG should be favored to win, all things considered. And all things being even, Sully.
Especially with this operator for jcrueL, you expect nothing more than a flabbergasted attempt. And yeah, with his position revealed, he has to go for a rifle if he wants to even stand a chance. Opportunity presented, I'd say. Time is ticking, though. Time is of the essence. And essence of this round is that it's over. KDA, they will not have round number 3. They will not tie things up. He's already backed out. And yep, KDA, concede number 3. LG, a great start as well. An even better execution. It did seem like it did get a little bit messy. The TP in the back as well kind of did draw Bull away. You were kind of hinting at the fact that maybe he was about to go crazy. He might have seen red or something of the sort. He would have just hammered everybody into the ground, but his attention is drawn away enough where he has to flick between Boathouse. He has to flick between the area behind him on the catwalk. It gets so difficult if you are that one single player, that anchor. And Stellar does enough to draw it away, that KDA get flustered. They can't do much about it. Bull can't really show his prowess. And that's how LG got onto the site. They drew attention away. And KDA, the money is still there. But again, it's starting to dwindle a little bit. jcrueL's the only one with any remnants of cash left alongside RESHURA. But even then, they're kind of hard-pressed here, and this is a big, big swing round for LG to take this half.
Oh, for sure, but are KDA going to allow this one to actually go their way? Keep in mind, there's Runner, who has his ultimate finally online, the lockdown, getting it a lot earlier than he did on Haven, where despite going, 3-10, his team managed to completely crush it versus LG. But despite him actually now starting to frag out, LG are providing a lot more of a fight just in the early days of Ascent, a map that doesn't even favor the Luminosity Gaming squad. As we enter another mid-round lull, we just kind of wait for the opening frag to be found. I believe there was a run it back expended that didn't actually amount to much of anything, so Bull will now back off to this position, waiting for contact to be made over at B main. It won't come to him at the perfect time. It's actually going to be a split out from mid as well. Keep in mind that there is, I believe, the Reyna of LG. Thief. Yep, there he is, making contact in, and okay, just like that, it's time for the push to start, I suppose. They don't want to wait. They don't want to dawdle around. They'll go ahead and just bring it straight over to B. But Bull is going to be waiting, and he'll find 2. So now that gatekeeper of the B bomb site has been taken out. The bomb planted, and a couple of players spotted, means that LG, while this round should all intents and purposes be theirs, doesn't mean that it's entirely 100% theirs. KDA, do they even want to bother going for this one here? Think about what this means for their economy if they lose it. If they die, if they lose all their players. Even if they try to save, that's no guarantee that they're going to save their guns. Things are going to look terrible if they actually get these guns taken out of their hands. So do they fight for this, Oli?
Doesn't look like it. I mean, at this point in time, with the spike so far gone, you'd imagine not. Given the situation that they were in, I think they were already hesitant of going into the site. KDA economy, like I mentioned, was so low. jcrueL had to expend an extra 2,900 just to suffice RESHURA's need for a buy. So KDA, No matter what, I think the call had to be a save. The odds are too
Mhm.
stacked against you, right? You're in a 2v3. They may have only one man more, but you've got an operator going into what I would say arguably is one of the more closer knit sites. That A or that B bomb site is so hard to work around when you've got an operator that's designed for those long range engagements. Unless you're someone like Baby Bay, who we saw the other day, very calm and collected on the operator. It's so difficult, and I don't think jcrueL has the mechanical skill to reach those heights. But unfortunately enough, LG, they take that round. KDA still stumbling for cash, but because of that save, they do have something to play with here. And the swing round has gone the way of LG. Can they hold on to it, and can they continue to build?
It's absolutely massive and really probably one of the more important ones you'll see of this entire game for sure. That's also momentum that LG can build off of, as you mentioned. But KDA, do they aggress? Do they swap their CT setup to try to make things a bit more scary? It seems like they have some ideas of it, but LG are taking all precautions necessary to make sure that mid is, relatively safe. Quiet push over towards short A. RESHURA watching, doesn't commit. This is probably the most noticeable thing that I've seen from KDA so far, is that they're starting to commit a lot less. Doesn't mean that they necessarily have to. RESHURA will commit on his own time, and he'll get a free kill right out of there. That is the power of Reyna for you. An opening kill found is going to completely halt the momentum that LG have been building up. No longer are they being powered by steam. They are being powered by sheer will and determination alone to not be upset by KDA. And it's working. That determination is doing them a lot of good. It's another disadvantageous situation for KDA to try to overcome. But once again, we look back to the bigger picture and realize that their economy is in shambles. It's not looking good. You'll see the lockdown expended anyway, and both finding the opening kill in such a demolishing, disgusting flick. But that doesn't mean that the round is free. Still, LG want to feed the beast. They want to keep going with it. They want to keep tempering the monster that is KDA. And it might not pan out in the long term. jcrueL now spotting exactly where it is, can allow KZ just go ahead, play on his own time, and a spray as he jumps through the smoke, finds the kill, will also find 6 for Luminosity Gaming. Ascent is a lot more of a welcome sight if you're a fan, and if you are LG loyal.
It's been so good for LG so far. They look incredible thus far to kick things off. This is the first half as well. Keep that in mind. They're not even on their defending side yet. The attacking side provides so many difficulties for any team. It's so much harder to play this offensive side of Ascent than it is the defense. We've seen that in so many tier 1 matches. And at this point in time, this should be tiered as one. It is insane between these two teams. The level of competition is unmatched in the tier 2 scene. Currently, LG still sitting with a dominating scoreline in the first half, 6-2. Can they continue to expand? KDA are struggling to lock down bomb sites. They're struggling to shut down individual plays like this, and RESHURA's just won one himself. That's a big kill to find on Catwalk as well, because look at the aggression that it's opened up for the rest of KDA. They're getting aggressive down middle. They've got information. There's a tripwire in their face, though, and it might slow them down. But the thing is, they've got that information, and they know where the hit is coming.
God, KDA feels like they're playing with fire here with some of the fights that they take. I cannot believe RESHURA actually won that 1 versus Thief. Again, by all intents and purposes, you would have to imagine that he gets away with it. But no, it doesn't happen. Teleport is going to be denied information from KDA, however, so LG at least to have that going for them. A double committed smoke over towards CT will allow them a little bit of space to run in over towards B, but that's not even going to be the real big challenge. The real big challenge comes in the form of Runner. The man who is silent on map number 2 has already been incredibly loud, but he doesn't have to do anything. He can sit back and watch, allow Bull to take away the kill, and allow Bull to basically bolster KDA onto 3 rounds and not quite break the economy of LG, but it's something I believe you mentioned. It's starting to really kind of get there. It's starting to crumble a little bit more. They have one more confident buy before you really start thinking about the possible pistols and the possible strats that LG might have to pull off on an eco round like this. Runner
especially
having been...
I'm sorry, of course. You first.
I think you're about to say the same thing as me.
Yeah, so I think we're going the same thing as that, especially in situations like this, when you have to go to those pistols, and we're so late into the half already, it gets really dangerous. And well,
exactly.
If they want to charge in with a Phoenix like that, Bull, do your thing, man. Go ahead and do your thing. You lose the life of RESHURA, a trade back by KZ or onto KZ by jcrueL. It now puts LG in a pretty uncomfortable position. They know where that Omen is. They know where that operator is. And they're really relying on the fact that aproto could get something done. But aproto's lurk has unfortunately led to nothing, and it leaves LG with almost nothing. A TP to the back, though. Stellar, he holds on to it. He's not even afraid. He's not afraid of anything. Nearly has the double. Can't get the flick shot onto the final frag. Then he needs to clear out this site. One more to find. It's the Killjoy in the back, and Runner is holding on to it with dear life, but swarming players around. Thief picks up a big frag on the bull down middle, and it leaves KDA now scrambling to muster a defense.
Oh, this is so good. That was such a sick mid-round call by LG. The bait out that they did to keep Runner in, that Omen towards CT has done all the work just by sheer utility usage alone. LG capitalizing upon the top mid aggression by actually going ahead and closing the distance, finding that kill. Look, I know you're the color commentator in this situation, but I can't help but just kind of squeal about how well LG played that sort of scenario. It was theirs kind of from the get-go, but they went about it the most smart possible fashion. Only now things get a little bit more scary after Runner has found that opening kill, but it's still a far, far distance away from being a winnable round.
Oh, that spike, it's ticking. Runner, if you want to even attempt this, especially on 5 HP, you gotta get moving now, and the movement is not fast enough. LG, they steal away a 7th. 11th round coming up, in KDA starting to crumble under the pressure, I'd say just a little bit. That last round before was absolutely perfect from them. At LG, you mentioned the mid-round call. Brilliance from the minds of LG. A great call overall, and unfortunately, KDA, they get caught in the middle of it. Good workaround as well. They watch the flank as well. If jcrueL isn't spotted out by the likes of mada, that round is an entirely different story. He gets that first pick. The reaction is a little bit slow. It's a 1v1 all of a sudden, in KDA, you're down by 4 rounds on the offensive half of Ascent. You need to pick it up, and LG are storming towards a dominant first half scoreline.
But is this going to be the round that it happens? Bolo's already getting a little bit scary. When that push out over towards B main, finding nothing but a quick death. KDA find themselves now a player down. Feels already a bit different than the Bull that we saw in maps 1 and 2. As he hasn't really been able to get anything with his early aggression and his, really aggressive antics in general. Because he has found that kill, KZ will now take that map information that he was fighting so hard to take control of Bull, and he'll make it their own. LG now have a perfect place to kind of go ahead and set up and execute of their own. There is one player in the form of Runner who could cause a little bit of contention towards the back of sight, but RESHURA will be the first one to strike blood, and actually might be the only one that needs to strike blood. LG, they should be having second thoughts about whether they want to actually commit. jcrueL is here as well to cause a little bit of panic. And LG, now are you starting to be a little bit worried about what KD can actually bring to the table? Because Stellar is bleeding internally. It doesn't look like your teammate is exactly doing wonderful either.
30 seconds
Hurting
left.
a bit is one hell of an understatement, as KDA undeniably are on the forefront of being able to find number 4 at long last. This is going to be necessary. I feel like at 7-5, if they want an upset over a team like LG, I think they need a scoreline like this.
10 seconds left. LG, they're still trying to work it in. There's no chance to cancel. There's no chance of getting out of this one. jcrueL's the bait, and Runner is the fish. Takes it like a hook. KDA 4-7, last round of the half. And LG, you can't cancel mid-execution, Kieran. That's the issue. Is you want to get out of there. At a certain point, when a RESHURA just gets 2 frags, 1 straight to a smoke, onto your opposing Reyna, Thief can't do anything. You can't cancel. You're way too far in, and you've got to just commit. The fact that they slowed down is what I think crushed them in that round. Thief had a golden opportunity. Run along the right side of sight. Take down Runner in the back of the site, smoke up again defender spot, and you're ready for it. You have it. But LG, they cancel mid execution. You're already in the site. You're not getting out of that one. Go all in or go home. KDA are looking for this 5th round, like you mentioned, and what a great ending to that it would be. Is LG, they've really only got pistols and a couple of rifles at hand.
But they have a hell of a lot of ultimates to work with, don't they? And mada will show exactly why ultimates are so scary. Sure, it may have been said that you don't kill with abilities in Project A, and that guns really are the things doing the killing. And while there is plenty of that in the kill feed, the ultimates are doing their fair share as well. A 2v2 as we enter a post-plant, Bull tossing in a creative Molotov to try to give himself a little bit more space, but they have to wait for Runner to go ahead and be there before they start holding hands and walking into the site together. Stellar is already quick on the flank. Never mind. It's prematurely shut down. We now very maturely have an 8-4 scoreline. This time, It's favoring LG, not like we saw on Haven. Not at all like we saw on Haven.
Not one bit. LG. Great start to that attacking half. On the attacking side as well, again, we go back to the stat sheet. A man of statistics I am. 49% win rate on the defensive side for LG. That's how many rounds they've won out of the ones they've played on Ascent defense. And on the attack, it's only 44. So they've done one better. They've got more than 50% of the rounds won on that attacking side. And so far, it's a stellar start. If they keep it up, this game should not be close. KDA, though, you never know. We said on Haven that there should be no chance that LG lose it. They had an 81% win rate, and throw the stats out the way because KDA are looking to make a statement here. And it all begins with this one single round.
Oh, but LG, they're very prepared for it. Look at this. A crossfire in effect is going to go ahead and be absolutely lethality. Although KDA, what? Are actually making this possible? What was that jumping 180? Even Hiko couldn't think of doing a thing like that.
Spike planted.
Screw Hiko, are you kidding me? Let's say Moechilla. Are you for real? That is unbelievable. LG, they find themselves on the back foot, but they're still going for it and they get a free kill. That is fantastic, but KDA are 3 players strong against the 1 of KZ. Classics should do the job. They don't have to take a fight. They don't have to do anything. They can just wait in the back of it, and they should win it. God, no, they're confident. Screw that. Screw all the things I was talking about playing tactical. Just take a fight. We're done here. Unreal. God, I wish we had replays up. I want to see that shot again. Moechilla. What? Like, I'm speechless.
I feel like there's not much you can say. LG, it's not looking good. At least from the pistol round perspective. There is still more to play. A single shorty bot for KZ. LG, 8-5. The pistol round was not theirs. I don't think it was meant to be. By the way, KDA played that one out. The crossfire looked good, but KDA, they overwhelmed them. They swarm the castle that was LG on the B site, and now KZ. What magic can you pull? He needed to land the second. He had to get that second frag to create a possibility. But look what it's done to the confidence of KDA in this attack. They've slowed down, they've backed away, and now they're double thinking themselves. They're double guessing themselves, and maybe, just maybe, they shouldn't attempt this take because LG are waiting and watching with that first frag and a gun picked up possibly, and mada waiting out towards middle. This gets weird for KDA. If mada gets anything from this kill, anything from that position, but runner Goomba stomps on top of it, and it now puts it to a 4v4 with already Thief at 22 HP. KDA seem fine, and they no longer seem flustered.
You know, that spot was called Sabrosa. I didn't know that they actually named a spot after you. That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's nice.
Very, very cool news. Around already kind of aiming to be a little bit more turbulent than I think LG themselves would have expected.
30 seconds left.
Interesting times. KDA are taking this one so crazy slow. I was expecting it to be done with already, to be entirely honest. Interesting indeed. KDA, they'll choose to push in towards A, but taking a heavy taking some heavy damage. And eventually the distance will be closed. LG are actually making it a really interesting round. Competitive in a lot of ways. They nearly found 3 kills. RESHURA, you know, bleeding internally. At least they stay alive. What a weird time. I just saw someone in chat say this is the strangest game of anything I have ever watched.
I don't disagree.
True.
I really don't. I mean, the way that this game has gone, undoubtedly, at least in the second map, has been a little bit strange. I didn't even think I would be still with you. Like, honestly, I thought after the second map, it was like, well, this is over. LG win bind. They have an undoubted scoreline on Haven, undoubted record. That you imagine that it's already over. KDA, 6-8. It's still not done just yet. Their attacking side seems brutal. It seems lethal, but LG, they've got the big guns. Are they the big enough boys to win this round, though? That's the real question. 3 towards A, 2 pushed up in garden, and not even that. KZ's not too far to help usher that effect in, and with 4 players aggressing from KDA, this gets scary. A swing away. Thief, though, not phased by, dismissive of the rest, and now they need to get a move on. KZ, another cross, a shock dart, life after death. jcrueL trades it out, but a 4v2 ensues, but damage dealt to KZ. But regardless, KDA are stumbling onto this A-bomb site.
One player remaining.
Stumbling indeed, but at least they give it a good college try, don't they? I mean, that's pretty much all I can take away from it. LG overwhelmingly won every single fight. KZ holding it down perfectly by hell. Didn't even need to necessarily peek out, do any crazy strats. I mean, by all intents and purposes, that is kind of what you want to see out of when you kind of set up default positions to play on your CT setups. That's what you hope to have. And it worked out perfectly. LG, this is a very solid combination that they can go ahead and maybe find wonderful results with. But at the moment, it's still not over yet. KDA, the difference is only 3 between the two teams, so it's anybody's game. And that's always what I'm trying to keep in mind here. KDA already surprised me by making it this far, excuse me. So who's to say they can't do it again, right? Expecting some wine aggression, though. So KDA are very wary of the fact that LG want to push this issue. Interesting stuff.
It's interesting because they immediately back away. I mean, they had basically full A main control. They've even got cat control to a certain degree. RESHURA very close. Thief not too far beyond the garage door. But it's really up to KDA. Where do they want to go? You've got so much map control. I mean, God forgive me for saying this, but it feels like LG are giving it to them. RESHURA goes in first, or apologies, that's Bulda going first to lead the charge, and there's a swing. A really, really great Lear goes out, and it takes him down. No chance at life there. Might have actually been a paranoia looking at the short sight, and in hindsight, Stellar's the only one that still stands. He's got to lock this down, and he's drawing attention away. He focuses on the wrong aspect, but he at least gets one for his troubles. 3v3, and there's only one on the site. KZ had an outstanding triple, but he will only get a third of that. One kill to his name, and it leaves now just a 2v2.
But now KDA are starting to get a little bit overwhelmed. That lockdown is used just to buy a little bit more space if they can so possibly help it. Spike is going to go down, but at what cost? LG, no, you're going to get detained. Oh my God. That was so close to being detained. That's great though. That means that it's even territory for LG. This is the best possible situation that LG could be in. You know, considering it's a 2v2, they have an idea of where the spike is going to be planted. They have that drone go ahead and find out some early information. Dart on through, and mada right behind it. Although it's a proto to find first kill, Runner's location has been honed in upon and finished off. LG, they make their way to double digits, and they will not be upset by any means necessary. Despite how hard KDA try, they just can't quite make it.
So close, but so far. LG holding on strong. 3 rounds to go, and this seems to be a guaranteed 11. And looking at the way that KDA are thinking about it, it's minimal investments. A hero rifle from RESHURA. There isn't a lot to go around. They're going to try and keep this from going to an OT situation. And, well, this is something that we literally cannot... Okay, there we go. I was going to say, there's something we literally cannot ignore. I was going to read what the buy was, but I had to stop mid-sentence. KDA, though, 6-10. The buy is minimal. They don't have a lot of firepower, and LG, with a 4-round lead and the weapons in hand, they should be looking to get 11 here, and it should be guaranteed. The shock dart, minimal damage, but here's an Ultor being picked up and does even more. Great early chip damage by mada. It sets them up for success, and while there seems to be a crunch going on, LG are standing strong.
Standing strong, but the fight hasn't begun yet. Again, KDA have impressed me many times before. This doesn't seem to be one of those instances. A proto, thief, everybody seemingly getting involved from LG. Everybody who's at this site will get their time in the limelight. There again is Thief. 2 kills for the 2 members of LG, and it will be ground down to a halt. KDA, there is nothing they can do. An absolutely sensational hold from LG as a whole will make it 11. And at this point, I mean, Soli, you said you like math. Right now, we're just counting to 13 with LG together. KDA have almost completely went offline, only having a couple of more hurrahs before eventually it does fall the way of the overdogs in this scenario. One more rifle round. Do you believe?
Got a little bit of faith. I'm thinking, when you said we're just counting right now, I was thinking, I don't know why. Maybe
Stop the count?
No, I was thinking that, and I was also like, 1. Like, count Dragon. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I don't know what I went through my head. But it's serious, you know, no more jokes. Jokes aside, LG, 2 rounds to go. And what a back-breaking round this one is. KDA, a must-win, and it's a great chance to pick it up. An empty A bomb site. Nobody is home, but here they come, knocking on their doorstep, and here's one to answer. sent all the way back, a space created, a chance given for LG, and they sit and wait on the site. RESHURA has found the first. Spike yet to go down. He's gotten aggressive, and now we have ourselves a retake. 4 versus 5, and it's looking dicey to say the least for LG. There's not a lot of room to work with, and currently Thief has to get this opening pick. He's got to win that duel, takes down the horn for the bull, and 3 follow, 4 to follow, leaving just the 1. Moechilla's nowhere to be seen. I'll see you later, Moechilla, because he'll be chilling on the sideline after this round done. It will be an 11th round, and KDA find number 12, 6-12, and 1 more round to go to take this to the round of 32.
LG with just sheer dominance. You have to keep in mind, that was a 4v5 basically from when that spike went down to the time that it ended. I understand what Moechilla was going for. Really, that position needed to kind of... Hindsight being 2020, he wouldn't have went for that. He just didn't expect all of his teammates to die so quickly. He barely had any time to rotate around T-spawn all the way towards Catwalk. That could have been such a brilliant backstab. But LG are so aggressive now on the retakes where it's nigh impossible to be guaranteed any space for any bit more time. And so, with that, one of the final nails in the coffin for LG to continue on their winning ways has been found. The push on in towards A, a Hunter's Fury to try to snuff it out early, and pretty lackluster results, I have to say. LG have dropped the player and have to concede the site. That should be another spike planted before Thief, arrives on the flank. The artillery doesn't exactly favor the side of KDA at the moment. We have to keep that in mind, so it's still anybody's round. LG, while they do have the player advantage, might be a little bit ill-fated to lose this one and allow a comeback to happen. Bull, why was I even worried? LG are too good at this. They're too disciplined. Despite all of the antics KDA have brought to us, it is going to be nothing more than a hollow victory. The upset on Haven was enough to blow my lungs out, but that has to be it. You have to have so much respect for KDA. That is the biggest thing that I can take from this. LG, beautiful form for almost all of Ascent, but maybe it's time to go back and think about what's going on Haven a little bit there, because they just got completely dumpstered. But this isn't Haven. This is Ascent, and this is LG winning the series 2-1.
I'm just listening to these comments. Anyways, yeah, going back to your point, this was really, really good from the likes of KDA. So much to work on, though, for LG. I 100% agree. Haven was not something that should have even been in question. The fact that I brought up the statistic, they made me look dumb. I said 81% win rate across 21 maps played with that agent composition, undefeated in the last 6 maps against 100 Thieves, Xset, all these teams that they